Hello and welcome to another edition of Draw Along with Dan. I'm cartoonist Dan Lietha, and this is my 12 noon lunch break. So we're recording at noon here in this time zone anyway, and I do this Monday through Friday during my lunch breaks from my artwork for the ministry Reasons for Hope. Check us out at r4forh.com. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram as well, and YouTube. So check out that ministry that I do my work for. But on my lunch hour, or my lunch break anyway, my lunch half hour, I've been doing these videos where I have certain subjects that I want to draw and show you how to draw them. And today we are drawing a cool T-Rex. So you can see this T-Rex here on my board. And so let's get drawing. First, I'm going to break this down. Now, before I even start drawing, what I want you to realize here, and I don't think I'm being too profound, but this is a piece of artwork that I'm copying. I don't have any photos of dinosaurs that I know of, and so just a quick observation about that sort of thing. Um, and then think about it too, that this is the image that we see of dinosaurs. How do we know that this is what they look like? Or do we question it when we see this? We go, oh, there's a dinosaur. But do we stop and go, wait, how do they know that it looked like that? So there's a lot of guesswork in this. So just accept that. So let's draw the circle for the head right there. And then now the body is foreshortened, so it's coming at you, which makes things a little tricky. So there's sort of a shape right there. And then the attach point for the neck is right about here. So I'm going to draw a lot of those attach points on this instructional. Then the neck goes up from the attach points on either side. And then the bottom jaw comes out. Upper jaw, nose up on top. Right there and right there. Now you see you see inside both top and bottom a little bit just because of the way the shapes are. And then you got that little thing right there, so we'll work that out. The eye ridge is right here. And then for the hips, the legs are odd too. Now there's this part of the body that goes down like that. It's the center line. The attach points for the arms are right here and right about here, so they go across. If there was a line between the two connection points, so the arms go down and over, and then this one comes down and over like that. Kind of hard to see there, but and this I'm not sure if this is a species of Tyrannosaurus Rex. The horns on the nose are a little odd, but this only has 2 claws, so it could be a T-Rex relative, maybe. So then the attach point for the leg there, and then the other one would be something like that going across where like the hip structure would be. I like to draw lines for the direction of the leg, especially these legs that kind of go like that, where this bottom part right here is actually the whole foot. This is the heel, and these are the toes, and it just runs on its toes, kind of like a horse or another animal that's like that. Then you've got the knee right here. So there's the knee right there. This goes down to that point right there, and then down for the bottom of the foot with the toes. And then for the toes, we have these shapes like that. Bring that up. I like to draw circles to represent where the joint is. We'll draw that for the toes, and then the claws kind of come off the claws like that. That makes it kind of easier. Now, the thigh part is right there. Again, the knee. This is the calf. Kind of a weird shape, but it's super easy to get that wrong and just make a bunch of lumps. So you got to think it through what each part is. Calf part over here. Less of that leg is seen. And then it comes down the ankle and the foot. So, okay, I hope that was something you could follow. And then the tail, just an extension of the spine, like that. And then draw it back and get thicker as you come back. So there's our breakdown of this dinosaur. Kind of complicated a little bit. Back of the head there, but I think we can do this. So what I'm going to do, as usual, is I'm going to have to adjust some stuff over here. We have a smaller reference. Make the big one go away. And then take the sketch of the broken down parts and shrink that down so it's something we can refer to. And we'll just let my palette cover up the, I guess you guys can't see it. I've got a palette over here that I use for my tools. So that's good that it's not in the way for you. And then I've got my layers palette over here, which again, you can't see, but I can. So let's make sure I've got the right layer. There we go. All right, so start out with the head circle. And then the neck comes down like that. And then the chest, we've got that connection point for the neck. The chest is like that. And then that bottom part comes down like that. The attach points for the leg is right there and probably right about there. And then this leg comes out. And then this leg, something like that. Get the chest, halfway point that I drew. I got the knees. So you block in the shapes. Some of these things can be easier to understand. And then I have to change the size on our drawing a little bit. And then down like that. Yeah, I drew off the page, but that's okay. And then the upper jaw goes up. The lower jaw goes down. We have a viewer. Say hi, please. All right, and then all right, up like that. And that's a bit rough. I might have to kind of fix that. And then the tail part's kind of easy. I'll make it go up like that since our reference kind of gets in the way. Ah, Canada, my friend from Canada. Welcome. Here, I'll put your little message, your greeting on the screen. There he is. My friend from Canada came down not too long ago and visited, and we had a nice time of fellowship at McDonald's. Although the McDonald's here was very, very slow. Like embarrassingly slow. And the arms right about there. I'm going to follow the reference pretty close on this one. Just got to kind of hold, he's holding him in a little bit. And then just don't forget T-Rex, 2 claws. If you see a drawing of a T-Rex, I always say this during my presentations of T-Rex, and the artist drew more than 2 claws, either it's not really a T-Rex or the artist does not know what they're doing. All right, we're going to shrink this down a little bit. And then oops, there we go. And then finish the rest of that foot. It comes down, down, down. That's the bottom right there. And then something like that. Widens out for the I think that's got most of the shape to it. The claws right about there. And dinosaurs are something that I've been drawing for a long time. In fact, they've kind of credit them as to really getting me going in my art career. Animals in general certainly did that. There was a time where I drew dinosaurs like crazy, monsters and dinosaurs and stuff. Now this head looks a little out of whack, so I have to refine this a bit. The upper jaw is really a funny shape. He's got some interesting horns up on his head. So that's not normal for like a T-Rex type of thing. So and then the teeth, you can draw like a guideline there to help you with the thicknesses of the teeth or where the teeth go down. I'm not trying to be exact there, as you can see. And there's these flesh things. It's like these the side of the mouth type of thing that you see on dinosaurs. I think some other reptiles have those too. So obviously that's not something you find in the fossil record, but I think borrowing from other creatures that we have in the world today, that's probably a safe guess. But again, you don't know until you see the real thing, what they're actually like. We're told all kinds of things about dinosaurs that one ultimately has to stop and say, wait, how do they know that? Especially when they're making big statements attached to this is the way dinosaurs were. You have to believe us, we're scientists. And then the next year they'll come up with some other different idea that contradicts what they just said. I'm not saying to not believe in science, but know the limitations. Science is a great thing, but it's a tool. It is a tool that is not infallible. That the information has to be interpreted by the people that use it. Okay, well, I think that's pretty close to the ballpark. Let's see. My friend in Canada says, "Did Buddy Davis ever give you pointers on how to draw dinosaurs?" No, I haven't gotten any pointers from Buddy. I have. Well, I guess maybe I can't say that. He may have made some comments along the way for some of the drawings a long time ago, whether the T-Rex was really thinner or thicker, barrel-chested type of thing. He makes his dinosaur, his T-Rex is barrel-chested. So I'm sure Buddy has had some input. I just can't think of any like direct comments right now that he's made. We've sat down and doodled and drawn dinosaurs and stuff. All right, now I'm going to get my marker out, my ink pen, and I'm going to ink over the top of this rough sketch and try to refine some of the roughness along the way too. So we'll see how it turns out. Get my black marker going. And it's a little trickier too when you got to work from the smaller reference. Let's do the neck first. Let's start with this jawline here. I try to get something that's structurally significant that you can kind of start from and build out. So the basis of or kind of the base of the head, the back right there, I think is a good spot. Now it has this kind of a throat doohickey thing on there. That's a very technical term, throat doohickey thing. Trying to build in some detail along the way. I've in some drawing workshops that I've done at the Creation Museum when I worked for Answers in Genesis, and then other ones that I've done in other places. I try to help young artists, kids, families, and whoever's in my audience anyway, to think through the images of dinosaurs and other creatures that we don't have on the earth right now, to think through how accurate the images that we see of them are. And don't get me wrong, when I draw dinosaurs, you could ask the same questions. So I'm not saying be critical of these people, but not me. But the point is that whenever we draw dinosaurs, we're drawing creatures that nobody on Earth, at least right now that I know of, has seen in person. And I think as a creationist, as a biblical creationist that believes in a young Earth, that dinosaurs still being alive would not be a big surprise. Whereas a person that believes in long ages and has been told that dinosaurs died out 65 million years ago, to say, hey, we found a live dinosaur, that would be huge. Like, very difficult to believe. And so we've actually come across dinosaur evidence that it's sort of in that realm. It's not live dinosaurs, but That bottom jaw looks like it needs to be a little longer. There have been dinosaur fossils that have been broken open. And scientists have found soft dinosaur tissue in them with very fragile structures in them that should not last even 500,000 years, much less 65 million years. And so that has evolutionists and long agers scratching their heads and doing cartwheels trying to come up with ways to figure out how that could happen. Whereas a person that believes that the Earth is younger, that's not a stretch. Just saying, some of that evidence works out pretty well for us as far as some of that goes. I mean, ultimately, somebody's right and somebody's wrong. But I believe what Scripture says is the ultimate authority in that. And so if the evidence that someone wants to point to as showing that the Bible is wrong, because it contradicts Scripture, just give it some time. And I think the understanding that the person is using is not right. So we're just kind of moving around, tracing the sections, trying to figure things out too. And then the chest kind of comes out a little bit there. And I'm going to stop because I got to draw the arms. That's one thing on Buddy Davis's dinosaurs, that he likes to make these arms very, very thick, like they're kind of bodybuilders. It's big muscles. That's another thing too that's kind of funny about the T-Rex in particular. It's such a cool dinosaur, and it has these massive jaws, but why does it have these little tiny arms? That's another thing that scientists are coming up with new stories about all the time. And again, the point is, they weren't there to see what the purpose of those is, and so they can try to make guesses, and there's nothing wrong with guessing. But what are you using to make the guesses? Oop, do that again, right there. So filling in the blanks is the trouble, and we all have to do that. I think as a Christian, with that biblical worldview that God gives to us in His Word, we have an advantage, because we have the words of the person that was the creator, is the creator. And that makes a huge difference. I have a book cover that I like to point to that I drew many, many years ago. And I hid my wife's name on the cover. Her name's Marcia, Marcia. And the original version of A is for Adam, I hid my wife's name on the cover of the book. ask the kids in my workshop that if you want to know how the art in the book cover was made, see, that was the secret that I could tell them because I was the artist that made it. And then I asked them, if you want to know about the secrets of all the ins and outs of how that book cover was made, the artwork on that, who should you ask? And they would say me, because I'm the artist. I'm the one that did it. And then I would say, I'd show them a picture of the earth, and I'd say, now if you want to know how this was made, who should you ask? And the answer is, of course, the one that made it, the artist that made the art of the earth, the creator God. And people can try to say, I don't believe the Bible, and I'm going to try to come up with a creation method and story and stuff all by myself. And I'm going to try to do that without God. But the Bible says that's not the best way to go about things. In fact, it's not very smart at all. And there's a lot of smart people doing that, which is sad. All right, so I've got some shapes here that are being darkened by other shadows. I like to do that. And then we'll put this guy on the ground, so I'll just put like an indication of some shadow that he's casting on the ground, just a rough little scribble line. Puts him on the floor, which is nice. And let's see, my friend in Canada says, why is the T-Rex the most popular dinosaur with kids? Well, I think some of it has to do with the way that it's promoted. It's a very popular dinosaur with a lot of people. And so they see it a lot. And so I think that sways a lot of bias, a lot of favoring it is because it's marketed that way. But it is a very cool looking dinosaur, and versus the one that I'm drawing here, it doesn't look so cool. I'm gonna fix some things here. That mouth is just a little weird. But I have to say that it's my favorite dinosaur, so I think it's just the cool looking head on T-Rex looks great. The back legs and the tail are cool looking. And those tiny arms, I don't know what it is about those tiny arms that we look past. Because you'd think, oh, there's these little wimpy things. They don't come across so cool. But maybe it's some of the mystery of the tiny arms too. And let's see if that bottom jaw. I think a lot of these demo videos that people make, everyone expects them to be like so polished and perfect and stuff, and that's not how I draw. It's a process of correcting and frankly, when I see an artist draw, I love to watch the corrections and stuff. So the structure of his head needs some help. Because there's more space between the mouth right there and the eye. put that forward some. That's really helping a lot right there. It just was kind of out of whack. I don't think I constructed it too well when I was sketching it in. So that underneath sketch is very, very important. That's much better. Something like that. That horn on the other side. Never seen a T-Rex with these horns. Maybe I'll have to go back and look up and see if there's kind of a subspecies of T-Rex that has horns like that, or this the crest above the eyes type of thing. So there's our T-Rex. Now, something I've been talking about is you could take a drawing that looks fairly realistic, and I'm going to make this eye so that I can put it back. I'm going to take this eye out, jump, and then let's erase the eye. And there's this cartoon eye that when I drew dinosaurs when I was a kid, I would draw these eyes. I loved those eyes. I saw them in cartoons, and I thought that's just so cool. And I could do it just a few lines, and so it made it a lot of fun. And it looks something like this. So you had that ridge goes down like that, and then the eye would go like that. And so it's kind of like this cartoon anger eye. And I loved it, and I still do. So it looks kind of cool there. And then you would go back kind of like that a little bit too. Like this furled. With this snarly type of. And then maybe you have the T-Rex looking back like that. So, but just that eye alone, you're changing it from more of a realistic eye to a cartoony eye, just the eye. And all of a sudden, the whole dinosaur kind of looks more cartoony, even though you didn't change the body at all. I think that's kind of funny. I'll put some more detail on the horn. This one's really dark back here, so there it is, our T-Rex. I think I'll just leave it with the cartoony eye. And let's take away the sketch there. A lot of detail for just a half hour, but if you're watching along and you're going to draw this later, you can start and stop the video, of course. So there's our T-Rex for the day. I love dinosaurs, and we're going to finish this one by writing my name, DanLietha.com. Check out my website. You can find all kinds of other artwork that I've done for various ministries, Reasons for Hope Now. And I also do some drawing for the Biblical Science Institute on the weekends type of thing. And then I used to do artwork for Answers in Genesis. Check out the other videos on my YouTube channel, and please share and tell others about the artwork that I do. And I'd love to see you pop on and join me during these live sessions in the summertime. I want to see how much of an audience I can grow. But Anyway, thanks for joining me today. This has been Dan Lietha, and Draw Along with Dan. Join me Monday through Friday at noon. See you next time.